saying that means that you're pregnant.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hope everybody's having a good day. Happy Thursday, honestly. It's not really the typical day for a happy, but it's almost Friday, so I think it deserves a happy Thursday. Wow, I really bumped that too low there. Back at it again, wearing one of the Dogecoin shirts. The classic D is for Doge. You can, of course, check out the link in the description if you want one, but that's not why I wore it. I do enjoy the shirt. But what's going on, guys? Hopefully everybody's having a good day today. And this is going to be kind of a part 2 continuation from yesterday's stream. If you haven't already done so, please turn your phone from landscape mode to portrait mode. All right? So guys, do that real quick. And then smash the like button. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much if you haven't already. Like I said, this is going to be a continuation from yesterday's stream. If you were already here, you're going to hear a couple of the same things. And then on top of that, we'll just analyze where we are sitting currently. And then I'll answer some of your questions as well. So that's how we'll do it. What's going on, Jonathan, Rick, Shuba, Skydive, Artful, The Artful Dozier, Crypto, Critter, thank you for hanging out, being a fellow streamer yourself, and Roar Nation and Daniel Blaine. What's going on? Thank you all as well, the guys and girls that are members of the channel. Thank you for your financial support. I do appreciate you, and it's great to have you in the Discord group as well. It's a good time, so thanks. As we get into this here, so Jonathan says, it's been a while. I've been busy with work for the past 7 days. Well, hey man, I'm glad you made it. What's up, Rick? Shuba says, are we making money yet? Hopefully so. Hopefully you were able to buy in a little bit ago. At this point in time, guys, I'm going to flip to Bitcoin chart really quick before Weeble decides to go down in 15 minutes here. And let's take advantage of this while we have it. So this is the view of Bitcoin right now. And as you can see, the way it looks, it almost looked like this was planned out, right? Because you see we went down, we went into the orange zone here. Now we're bouncing and we're stopping at like a line. Oh, what is this sorcery? This was basically the dip zone, in case you guys missed it, where we were expecting Bitcoin to stop on the crash, knowing that the news wasn't absolutely horrific, right? So it didn't mean we should be crashing here and crashing here. It wasn't horrific. It was just bad news. So that meant we should be doing a mild to moderate crash. Mild to moderate territory kind of left us here at this support range, somewhere here to here. And that's where the box came from. We just looked back and figured out where we should be stopping. Because you could just kind of consider, guys, if you just look at the overall chart, this is the way I do my analysis, just in case you ever wanted to know, like, where in the world do I get my ideas from? So just think about it as like something's being laid out in front of you and there's levels to everything. This is obviously the best we've been, and this is the worst we've been in a while. We dropped here, stopped here. We also dropped here, right here. You know, when we made that initial move up, when the bull run first happened, this was where our pullback happened. This is where we stopped and bounced a couple times. So this right here, this $30,000 level, this is like our worst case scenario. Things are going really, really bad for Bitcoin, but we haven't completely entered a bear market yet, to where we're going to do some pullbacks still way before we had the bull run. And I don't think that's even going to occur. So this area here, this is the treacherous worst case scenario. We get tons of bad news. We're crashing zone down here. All right. And that leaves a couple more areas. So if this is the bad, the terrible, and this is the best, then this middle ground has to be the okay. And so in between there, you can start to get some levels. So obviously right in this zone, right above the terrible is going to be just your average to bad. And here's your average to good, right? And so that's just kind of the way I section charts out. It's just the easy way to look at it, just kind of logically. And so when we say we have some bad news and things aren't looking so good and we're going to do some kind of pullback, then you can just look back at your previous supports and resistances that are in that general area of where you think it should be falling to based off what the news is, and then look at what the levels happen to be. So on a high time frame, I can see here was a stopping point, here is a stopping point, like right here and here. and then you had some activity here. And so that's just where we drew the box, kind of to simplify things, right? Not a whole lot of crazy stuff behind it. But sure enough, that's where we fell on this pullback. And then we bounced out. Now, what I said yesterday was to everybody, do not get too excited just because we do a bounce and we're looking at $45,000. Getting above 44 was great. That showed that we do have a little bit of strength here because we didn't necessarily need to get back to this 50 EMA if we were just going to continue down. A sufficient bounce would have probably been right to 44, and then we're done, and then we crash. So the fact that we got up to 45 is good. That means we had enough buying pressure off this bounce here where people thought, this could be the bottom. We had enough people in agreement, enough people to buy it up and move us to this 50 EMA. That being said, we are stalling out as expected. And what's going to happen next is the question. All we've basically been saying is that we know September historically, pretty much every single September that there has been for Bitcoin has closed red. People are a little bearish on the month because of that, and they're expecting the month to close red, which means it's going to take a little bit more incentive to get people to be on the bullish side to buy into a historically red month. If we're going to close red, that means we will close under 47,000. So even though we're at 45, if we're closing red, we're probably not going to go but another $1,000 or $2,000 from here. Probably nothing above that, because if we're going to close red, we need to end under 47. And we've only got 7 days left, exactly 7 days. So though this is fine, there's no complaints here. Like, we got the sell-off, we bounced where we expected to bounce from, and we made a good bounce up to the 50 EMA. I am not bullish at all on what's happening here. This does not mean that it won't stop here and pull back down and we get another touch at 39. It does not mean that we won't move up and go to the 100 and 200 EMA and reject off 46,000 and then come down. Nor does it mean that we won't just go up to here, break above this 200 EMA, and just consolidate here as support for the next couple days until we go into October. All of those things are scenarios, right? We may get another dip. It may be a deeper dip, or we may just hang out in this general area from 44 to 47 so that we get our red close and then we have a positive October, November, December. Any one of those scenarios can happen, and what's really going to influence the outcome is going to be the news that comes out for Bitcoin over these next 7 days. So in my opinion, Bitcoin is just extremely neutral right now, just doing what's expected of it, and it can be easily influenced to the up or downside based off news, right? So we're just going to have to keep our eyes peeled, keep checking out Twitter, and check your cryptocurrency news. When is the next Dogecoin update coming out, Shuba says, and when are all the nodes going to be updated? So last I heard, we're doing a lot better with the nodes. I know some people that I'm aware of on Twitter went ahead and started, really getting some people together. A lot of the large accounts, they held these spaces to start talking about running nodes. And guys, apparently it's something that you can do yourself. If you go to the website and you can download the software and run your own node from your own computer or laptop. And you're not mining, by the way. You're not doing anything like that. You're just helping support the network. And when the majority of the nodes are running the latest version, then, pretty much that update will be live. So now the next Dogecoin update after this one, there is no release date at this time. I know it's still in the works and it's close. It was actually close to being done already when the last update came out. They're kind of working on all three. They did say that the next updates are going to take a little longer to review and test, especially Dogecoin 1.21. But in those next updates, the fee reduction thing will be forced versus just waiting for the nodes to update. It's going to be a forced update. So that's a positive, but we're still almost there. Hey, what's going on, Skydive? Artful says, hey, and hi, Mariano. Hey, what's going on, man? What's up, Crypto? And Jonathan. Great show yesterday, by the way. Thanks for answering all your questions. Yeah, absolutely. Do I think that YouTube and TikTok will follow suit with what Twitter has done? If you mean follow suit by accepting crypto as a method of tipping people, yes, I do. I think YouTube will do it first. It kind of only makes sense. Don't forget, Google's the owner of YouTube. They bought YouTube, they own it, they run it. When you get paid as a YouTuber, you get paid from Google, all that stuff. So Google is a very tech-savvy company. That is what they do. If they are to be classified as one thing, it's probably going to be like a technology-focused company. They're extremely tech-savvy in general. They make smartphones that are supposed to be, that are cutting edge, that lead the way. They also make Android, the operating system. They make the web browser that we're running. They make the platform that we're watching stuff on, like Google, and they make your email for the most part, Gmail. Google is in pretty much everything regarding advancing technology. So yes, I definitely would expect Google to be one of the ones that's one of the soonest to move forward that next step of technology. What did I just... There's some like bow sauce on my table. That was weird. Anyway, yeah, I definitely expect YouTube to do it next. And the reason I'm saying that is because the platform's like already here, and the method of like paying people, tipping people is already here. So for example, like if any of you wanted to super chat or something, like that's already here. You can already donate when people are streaming. So the infrastructure's there. They just need to, on the back end, figure out how to tie it in. Instead of US dollar payments, make it, a Bitcoin donation or a Dogecoin donation or something like that. And so I'm sure they're working on it literally as we have this conversation. But I think they'll be next, and I think it's going to become standard. It's just going to take some more time for like the TikToks and the Instagram and, the Facebook and all that. But I think it'll come around. All of these platforms, I think, will have it soon. And then do I think that we will see one more drop, or is this it before we hit October? If I were to be just a guessing man right now, I would think that we see one more drop. That's just me. Because when you look at what's going on here, this is just my perspective, guys. All right. And please keep in mind, when it comes to this particular opinion of what's going to happen over the next 7 days, there's literally just no way to know. Okay. So anything's going to be kind of a shot in the dark, but you can take your best guess at what's going to happen based off what you know. So here's what I see. We had some bad news. We had the Evergrande everything and, some other things that made us crash. We got to the buy zone, a dip right under 40,000, which was a mental level of support anyway, and we went into the dip zone, and we rejected out of there as people bought that dip up. When we got that dip, all of the altcoins crashed really hard. We got a Cardano at 190. That is an extreme dip. We got a Dogecoin back at 19 cents. We got Ethereum back at like 3 or a little under 3,000. People that missed out, they bought those dips up like crazy, okay? And that's why we saw this expected bounce to the first coming level of resistance. We didn't get a bounce all the way up to the 200 EMA or anything crazy that looks bullish. So we just got a very textbook bounce from support up to the nearest resistance, and now we're trading sideways. We still have 7 days left. We know that we can't, we're probably not going to end green historically, and that's what's on everyone's mind. So people are not necessarily going to be wanting to buy at like 44, at 45, at 46 when we need to close under 47 to end red, because they're expecting us to end red. So comparatively 45, 46, those are high prices, right? They're going to be less inclined to buy. We also know that the Evergrande situation is the worst is yet to come. We have not heard anything about a China bailout, so that could still happen and spark another crash. And then, on top of that, the infrastructure bill, we should be getting some news on that within the next week. And that should be getting passed. All of those are negative catalysts. We've got some positive things. The El Salvador thing, it's already happened. The Panama and other countries that want to do it, cool. We already know about that. When it comes to these places accepting Bitcoin as payment, that news has already come. We've already heard about AMC. We've already heard about Twitter. We've already heard about that. So all of the good catalysts have already been spoken for. Now what we have left is the negative news that everyone has to look forward to over these next couple days. So for that reason, if anything, I would be a little bit bearish overall on the scenario. And I think that we could see, a stall out here and then a pullback down to here again. One more dip maybe into this orange zone, 37 to 40, and then us start climbing out as we get closer to October 1st, as long as we don't get terrible news by then. And then us making our way, as long as the infrastructure bill news isn't terrible, as long as the Evergrande news isn't terrible, I think we'll get one last dip into here, and then we'll just slowly start gradually making our way back up to a good spot. That's going to be my guess. I do think we'll see one more dip. But like I said a couple days ago when we were sitting here, at these prices, at these dip prices, 220 ADA or under, we were at 21 cents or 20 cents Dogecoin. Like, why not be buying? That's the question everyone should ask themselves. Regardless of if there is a flash crash, just don't all in. That is the problem solver. If you think there will be a deeper crash, as long as you have not put all your capital in, you haven't thrown all your eggs in that one basket, you will have money for if there's a flash crash to just buy those even cheaper. But what the last thing you want is for us to take off like a rocket and you don't have any position at all. And you're in no profit and you've completely missed the dip. That is not the way, you know, these whales, when you go on Twitter and you go to their Twitter account and you go to whale trades, whoops, these whales are already active. They're going long, they're going short. It doesn't matter if it's the absolute bottom, it doesn't matter if it's the absolute top. They're interacting with the price action at what they see as good value. They're not waiting for the perfect moment. Now, I strongly disagree when I hear like YouTubers and influencers say there's no way to time the bottom. There's no way to time it. There's no good reason to time it. Just do this, do that, and the other. That's not really true. You can do your technical analysis and figure out where the bottom is. All right, but the thing is, you never really know which bottom that we're going to stop at. So you shouldn't just start throwing your money in at any given price, all right, because that's the way they usually say it. You never know where the bottom is, so just start buying. Not true. Buy at what is the bottom of that particular area, and then wait to see if we go down to the next level, and then buy at the bottom of that area. And then if we go to the next level, buy at the bottom of that area. That's the way to do it, all right? So don't YOLO your money in at random times, but buy the dips up as they come. That's what we should be doing. I do think we will have one more dip, yes, to answer that question. If we don't, oh well, I don't think we're going to go above 47 unless we break our record and everyone gets bullish all of a sudden and suddenly we have a green September. Cool, that'll go down in history. But if we're just going to repeat history and the way it's looking so far, we're staying under 47,000 for the next 7 days, and we will probably be somewhere in this area. But I think we'll pull back one more time before we go up. What's up, Roar Nation? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the support. Love the shirt. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We are here yet again, a crossroads, full circle to where we began. We sure are, man. Daniel, what's up? Yes, that like button. Thanks, guys. What happens in 2022? All quarters for Bitcoin. Jeez. So Q1 will probably be somewhere. Q1 will definitely be eyeballing that 100,000 target. All right, if we haven't hit $100,000 by December 31st, we will be our Q1 goal will be to hit 100,000. Now, what happens the rest of the year, I don't know. All I know is we'll probably be making our way to 200,000 or 300,000 by the end of the year. And that's it. That's all I got. But there's no in crypto. I always say it's super unstable. It's unpredictable. We've got, Ethereum was the big dog that everybody's like, oh, Ethereum's going to be bigger than Bitcoin. Just give it some time. Now everybody's talking about Cardano's going to be bigger than Ethereum. Just give it some time. And it's only been like 4 weeks since everyone was on the Ethereum train. As soon as those gas fees started going to the moon, everybody started backing out and started talking about something else. So, and that's, like I said, literally 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. So imagine what happens 4 to 6 months from now. There could be completely new competitors up there. Avalanche could be number 2 market cap. We don't know. We don't know. We'll just have to see. The crypto market moves way too fast, is very volatile, and things are unpredictable, and it's so new overall. There's just so many good projects that are coming up that there's just no way to know. John says, last time Doge had this much good news, it went up for 8 days straight a few days later. Yeah, market's definitely changed since then. Dogecoin, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, guys. Dogecoin is super, I don't want to say stale, but it is just very stable, and it just does what the market does right now. It is functioning like a not meme coin that is in the top 10 market cap. Dogecoin, by the way, is losing a lot of spots. And if Avalanche hits about 130, 140 bucks, Dogecoin's not going to be in the top 10 anymore. So that, unfortunately, is bearish news for Doge, but I don't think that changes anything regarding what people want from the coin. But it is a little disappointing to see it falling behind all these guys. You know, it's taken some big hits. And that is a bummer. I mean, we were up here in the top 5. We were looking at the top 3. And I think we maybe even, did we hit 3rd place? I think we did at one point. And now we're down here, sitting here, barely hanging on to the top 10 spot. So it's a bit sad. I won't lie, but I think we can still do it. I think we can. When it comes to Twitter, and here's another thing, guys. Elon Musk did actually tweet about Dogecoin, and it just went completely unnoticed. Nobody really talked about it too much. But he actually tweeted today, and this is positive for us. And this is what he said. Shibatoshi Nakamoto, Billy Marcus, the creator of Dogecoin, said Robinhood announcing wallets, AMC CEO not only talking about accepting Dogecoin, but saying it was the single most interactive with tweet he has ever made. The crypto market finally seeing some green, I gotta say. And then the meme saying today was a good day. And then Elon Musk just commented today, or yesterday, late yesterday, and said super important for Doge fees to drop to make things like buying movie tickets more viable. All right, so him saying this is just showing that he is still interested in Dogecoin. He right here with this tweet is still showing his support for the coin. But we just didn't see a price budge whatsoever. If you look at the Dogecoin chart, nothing happened spectacular here. It's just still been following Bitcoin's price movement. So, you know, a bit disappointing to see Doge not really being volatile anymore. I'm sure everybody loved those opportunities to get an Elon tweet and then the price rocket. Looks like those days are numbered, but still overall, if you're patient, regardless of what investment you're in, as long as it's a solid one, that could be Doge, Cardano, or whatever, it will pay off for you. It's just not going to pay off the same way that it would have a couple months ago with these random crazy volatility spikes. Another thing that's cool is, I think I retweeted this, so let me check my Twitter here. It's probably in my likes. All right. So if we take a look here, this is when the AMC CEO said, it's so fascinating that the Dogecoin poll was by far his highest ever read tweet. The Dogecoin poll. He said in 24 hours, 4.2 million views, the most ever retweets, and his most ever replies. 140,000 voted yes, with only 23% saying no. It's clear that you think AMC should do Dogecoin. Now we just need to figure out how to do that. Stay tuned. So it is very likely Dogecoin will get added into this AMC mix. And then someone commented and said, didn't Mark Cuban figure out the easiest way to accept Doge out like months ago? You know, because for the Dallas Mavericks, their store, they accept Doge's payment. And Mark Cuban right there helped out and said BitPay. And then we can even scroll down and see Doge Beans Coffee commented, or BitPay said, amazing, we're here to help if you need us. So they're right there ready to help AMC out. And then Doge Beans Coffee also said, happy to help. Check out Coinbase Commerce or BitPay. And they actually use Coinbase Commerce, but both of them work. I know on my store, I use Coinbase Commerce as well, and you're able to buy shirts or whatever in Dogecoin or Ethereum or Bitcoin, whichever crypto you want to use. And it works very well. So it's just great to still see Elon Musk and Mark Cuban still in the game, still helping out and supporting with Dogecoin. Whether or not we start seeing these crazy volatility spikes like we used to see all the time, whatever, that's besides the point. But we still do have the support. So it's just going to be a patience game. Wait for Bitcoin to get out of this hole, this bearish territory. And once we start seeing some real progress from Bitcoin, these guys will start seeing their green days again. And I'm sure we got a taste of that once we saw Bitcoin at 52. We saw Dogecoin going up to 35 cents, and everybody started to feel like it was the old Doge again, right? So we just need Bitcoin to recover, and we'll get that again. That wasn't very long ago, by the way. That was just last month, so don't forget. Now, the only last thing I have to say, guys, is usually you can get a pretty good temperature check of the crypto market by looking at the altcoins in comparison to Bitcoin, and the way that the altcoins are performing in relation to the way that the market leader is performing tells you a lot about how the retail traders, the everyday people, everybody, how they're feeling about what the crypto market's probably going to do next. All right. So what I mean by that is we see Bitcoin is at 44, almost 45,000, and it's up 1.3% today. So all things considered, Bitcoin is having a pretty good day, right? But then you go and you look at the altcoins, and Dogecoin's down, instead of up 1.5%, it's down 1% on the day. And then instead of up 1.5%, Cardano is down almost 2% today. So Bitcoin's doing good. These guys are selling off. Why is that? If we go to Ethereum, let's see how Ethereum's doing. Not quite as good as Bitcoin either. So usually what you can tell by that, when you don't see, with the really volatile coins, when you don't see them matching or exceeding Bitcoin's movement, that's usually because people are skeptical about what's going to happen next and they don't trust it. That's usually the read, and that's usually for good reason as well. So just that alone tells me that there might not be that much left in the tank for Bitcoin, because the other cryptocurrency buyers are not buying up crypto right now as if this is a really bullish sign. So that's usually the way I can read into it. Bitcoin's green. All the other guys are pretty much red and doing not so good. So a lot of people are probably thinking we're going to stall out here and sell off, so they're not buying. They don't see this as a good buying opportunity. Or people just know we haven't, on these coins, made such a massive move up from here to here, and we only have from here to here to go. So buying right now might not be a great idea. So definitely seeing some bearishness in the market despite Bitcoin's bounce. And so just keep an eye on 45,000. If we get above that, let's just see if we go to 47. I'm not saying we cannot cross 47K this month, guys. If we do cross 47K, everybody might start flipping bullish and just say, well, let's try and break history. But at this point in time, everyone's expectation is that we won't. And so they're going to be more bearish till that happens. But I'm expecting no higher than 45 or 46, and then a pullback back down towards the low 40s or even back into the high 30s before we get another move heading into October. That's just my opinion. All right, guys, so hopefully that answered everybody's questions. And it looks like that was about all the questions. And what's going on, Doge Scotland? Again, thank you for the help, for the support, and thanks for supporting on Twitter. I did, once again, see your retweets here, so I do appreciate you. But that's going to do it, guys, unless you got any more questions. A few less viewers today in the stream, but I did decide to run ads, and that always does it. But it is what it is. They'll come back around. Let's take a look. Any more questions before I go? Alrighty, I think that's it. We got through those in a nice 30-minute stream, so I think that's pretty decent. All right, guys, well, that will do it. If you've got any more questions, feel free. You can always comment them on the video once this... Wow, all right. Fire truck. Once this upload goes live, you can always drop a comment or bring them back for next stream and, save those for tomorrow, and I'll be back to answer those. Well, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Click the like button so that when this gets uploaded, other people can go ahead and see it pretty quickly. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow on the next live stream. And thank you, Skydive. Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thanks.